couldn't think of two better casters to look after this one. You're in safe hands, guys. I'll leave it with you, Onset and Dan Gaskin.
Thank you, Tom. And Dan, it is finally time to see two of the best and two of the best on Xbox in the world going up against each other now in our Xbox Grand Finals. Obviously, F2Tekkz taking on Msdossary. We've heard from both of the players. Now, let's get your thoughts on what you're expected to see in our Grand Final.
You know, I was really excited to see this matchup back last week in the LQE when they faced up against each other in less pressured circumstances. It was only in the group stage, and Tekkz went down in the first leg. He lost that first leg, and everyone was kind of umming and ahhing and saying, hey, maybe this is it. Maybe this is going to be Msdossary coming back into things. Suddenly, Tekkz turns around and slaps Msdossary 6-0 in the second leg, really just like reassuring everyone that actually Tekkz is the best player. And I think we might be in store for that again today. He has got so many goals behind him, and I'm excited.
It's interesting that you say that, because you say, you know, in the second leg, obviously he turned it around. But if you look at the actual games they've played, arguably you could say it's 1-1 in games they've played as far as games as FIFA is concerned. So obviously across the two legs is all that really matters. But if you want to look at it that way for Msdossary fans, definitely some hope there for you. But let's look at their roads to how they've got here today. Obviously, you look at Tekkz. He took down Dax, and he was pretty concerned about that match. He said it was going to be one of his toughest matchups of the tournament. But he disposed with him with pretty consummate ease, to be honest with you, considering the caliber of player that Dax is. And on the other side, Msdossary taking down his fellow Saudi Arabian, his good friend in the Royal. I mean, it's been an interesting road for both of these players, but I really feel like this is a step up again in level for both these players. These are the two best players on Xbox, in my opinion, consistently across the last few years. And I'm just cannot wait to get into this game number one.
And I feel like Tekkz was maybe concerned going up against Dax because of how well Dax has been performing with possession and how good he was on the ball, passing it around. Was Tekkz going to be actually able to get that ball and get into those shooting positions? He did. He very comfortably was able to dominate that game, and that's something that Msdossary does well. He controls games. He plays that possession-based football. He's happy to pass it around the midfield and look for those gaps. Is he going to find those gaps against Tekkz? Yes, there are cracks. He has conceded goals, but it's just, you've got to stop Tekkz from just smashing those goals in, because it just seems to be every time he's on the ball, players just panic. They drop off and they don't really know what to do. Is he going to pass it? Is he going to go for a long-range shot? Is he going to take it around me and then just cut it back? So much to offer going forward.
That's so true. And let's talk about the evolution of Msdossary since the start of FIFA 19. You know, he was invited out to Paris Games Week, as we say, didn't have the greatest of competitions, but then every single tournament that he's gone to, he's got better and better and better, and now he finds himself in our grand final. He's added all of those meta aspects that I know Mike Bell likes to talk about a lot. A lot of those time finishes, moving the goalkeeper. And now that he's kind of hit this level, this is a different Msdossary to what even we saw last weekend in Bucharest at the LQE. So what can we expect? I really just have a weird feeling about this game that it's going to go right down to those last 10, 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, I talk about how much goals Tekkz is scoring. Msdossary's actually scored more goals and has a better goal difference in this tournament at the moment than Tekkz does. They've both managed to take one loss in the tournament thus far, so they definitely could lose a game here. But I think you're right. Msdossary seems to be learning and evolving every single tournament. And to be fair, he's learning from Tekkz. Tekkz is the front runner at the moment. He is displaying how FIFA 19 should be played because he's performing so excellently. And you know what? He's happy to hide away. And I don't blame him. Get into your comfort zone.
One for the South Park fans there.
And just,
Kenny.
Just focus. And I think that's the problem that some FIFA players have. When they get to this big stage, they do crumble a little bit. Pressure gets to them. Maybe they get the shakes. Whereas Tekkz, when he does have that back against the wall, he seems to perform even better. We look at...
Has Steven Gerrard in the back pocket.
We look at last week, when he was down 3 goals by against Gorilla, and then suddenly he's able to crush Gorilla just in his hand. It was incredible to watch.
Okay, well, of course, it's not just the Xbox that we have our grand final for. We have, of course, our PlayStation cross-console final to come as well. I mean, there's so many more exciting moments to be had so far today, and I always feel like if you win your console side of things, that's great. You know, you can kind of have that, but it's always a little bit of asterisk. It's a cross-console that really is the kind of the statement of you are #1 in the world at the moment. And that's why I think everyone's talking about Tekkz so much at the moment, because not only has he won his side, he's won the 2 cross-console finals as well. Do you feel there's anyone on that PlayStation side that could potentially take either of these players down should they make it to that grand final?
Well, Nicholas seems to be another one of those possession-based players, which might struggle against Tekkz with how he's been playing. I think you need an out-and-out goal scorer who can really take it to Tekkz, and maybe that is Mo Alba. Mo Alba has that in his locker. He's able to just smash goals in as well. So if Tekkz gets to the final and if Mo Alba gets to the final, that certainly would be a mouth-watering one.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen at home. It's time to get into our Xbox Grand Finals. F2Tekkz, no surprise there, taking on, no surprise again, Msdossary, our current FIFA eWorld Cup champion from Saudi Arabia, taking on the young phenomenon from the United Kingdom. We're underway here, and no surprise, F2Tekkz once again sporting the Liverpool kit.
A little quiz for you, Mark. Both players have had exactly the same amount of shots, 168. Who do you think has had the most shots on goal? Shots on target?
I'm going to go with Msdossary.
No, actually Tekkz, 117 from his 168 this tournament. So definitely knows how to get the ball hurtling towards the middle of that goal.
Both these players will be playing the 4-2-3-1 narrow formation to start things off, and it is Msdossary with the first real attempt at getting into that final third here. Ronaldo, a little bit of space. Ronaldo strikes it straight down the throat of David De Gea, though, but a real warning there from Msdossary. He is here to play.
And I feel like you really need to know your opponent, especially in these early stages. Where are they going to be putting that first ball, their first shot? Is it going to be a finesse? Are they going to be trying to beat me at the near post? That one, fortunately for Tekkz, has gone down the middle. He held his ground, didn't move his keeper too much, recognised where it was going to be placed. But that'll be an early warning sign from Msdossary to say, hey, you're being credited with all your out-and-out incredible attack, but actually I've got more goals than you this tournament.
Well, Msdossary is the player who's controlling the start of this game, and R9 using his strength to break away. Now he gets back in, and this is beautiful, quick passing play. Ruud Gullit with the chance to strike it, and Ruud Gullit puts it in the back of the net. Msdossary is the man who gets the first goal in our Xbox Grand Final.
Well, he had the space, and he was waiting and waiting and saying, should I hit this with Gullit? You don't usually hit them from that far with Gullit. You want your Eusebio, your Pele. But instead, he says, actually, screw it, I'm just going to go for it. And he's rewarded with taking that chance. Even moving the keeper to one side, wasn't able to stop that one. And what a perfect way to start this grand final for Msdossary. One way to keep Tekkz quiet after the comments he made before that game.
And the start of this game has been all Msdossary, we have to say. He's had control of possession for the first 10 minutes. He's had the first two real strikes at goal with any anger, and he gets the goal as well. So now Tekkz on the back foot to start this one off, but exactly how Msdossary would have wanted to settle into this one, having that possession, and just encouragingly for him as well, the ease of which he's able to get a couple of strikes off early on. We talked about Tekkz defense, but Msdossary showing maybe he has the key to unlock it.
Well, we spoke about possession-based football and just keeping Tekkz off the ball, not allowing him to have the crazy attacks that we've seen so much this tournament. Well, Msdossary's done well thus far, but now we're actually starting to see some possession from Tekkz, and that is always the scary factor. What does he have to offer?
Maldini gets in strongly there on Eusebio, and this is where Tekkz is dangerous. However, he just straight offside there. Linesman's flag will go up. Keep an eye on that left cam and that right cam for Tekkz, because that's where he does all the damage down. As soon as he gets in behind and he gets inside that 18-yard box.
And maybe Msdossary could use the offside trap. If he notices that there is a lot of play going down those wings, just suddenly switch that offside trap on, bring those centre-backs towards the middle of the pitch, and then suddenly it's going to be an offside flag and Tekkz is going to be halted.
And that's one thing that Msdossary does in his normal gameplay, does employ that offside trap, tries to push up and put pressure on the ball, and interesting to see if that is something, as you say, Dan, that does work and kind of stifles Tekkz in around the box. But here's R9 into CR7. Goes for the Berber spin. Ball is going to break away here. You can see the frustration there from Tekkz. It will just be a goal kick, and Msdossary now with a chance to clear his lines.
I think defensively, Msdossary is looking pretty solid as well. He's not offering up those wings as much as some other players do with Tekkz. But then going forward, there's always that chance that one of those could head to the top corner, but Msdossary would be more than happy just to see that going into Courtois' hands. But he's got those fullbacks on to stay back, I would presume, because it looks like they're not being pushed up too far on the pitch and leaving loads of space out on the wings. So it's good stuff from Msdossary in the opening stages of this game.
Yeah, and obviously putting those fullbacks to stay back and not get too involved in the attack, I think it's a smart decision, because that, as we say, they're the areas on the pitch where Tekkz has looked most dangerous throughout this tournament, throughout the last couple of tournaments that he's been involved with. Getting Pele in the action, getting Eusebio in the action, but let's talk about this attack from Msdossary that just gets broken up as something started to develop for the Saudi Arabian. Cruyff then back on defence. Vieira snaps into the tackle though. Eusebio now back to Vieira, and again, this is where the battle's going to be. Msdossary's going to have to be so careful with Kyle Walker and Alexandro in those full-back positions. Vieira coming forward now, Gullit in the tackle. Alexandro is going to be the player to win it and get it back for Msdossary.
It's exactly what Msdossary needs to do. Keep the ball in the middle of the pitch. Keep the ball with Vieira, with Gullit. They're not going to be as good with the skill moves. And now he's trying to exploit wings himself here, Msdossary. One thing that Tekkz is very good at is using his fullbacks to defend. He pushes them up the pitch, he gets aggressive, he brings them central as well. Especially Kyle Walker, he likes to bring him into the middle to defend with him.
Sandro gets beaten to the ball here, but the strength of Alexandro, the 87 rated inform, enough to get the ball back. Msdossary then, controlling the pace after a little bit of pressure here from Tekkz. Gives away the free kick there. Soft one. Decides that there was a little bit too much physicality in that challenge for his liking. And now Msdossary can build again. Those are the
little things that Msdossary does need to be careful with. If I take you back to last week, Mark, there was several times where Msdossary was just a little bit quick to throw the ball out with the keeper, perhaps. They did leave him vulnerable. He did make those mistakes where typically he wouldn't have last year. And there is a chance from this free kick, potentially.
3 players stand over the ball then. Will this be a short routine like we've seen from a lot of players so far this weekend? Ball rolled off to Hullet. Hullet with a step over, goes inside, Msdossary doubles the lead.
Beautiful stuff. He knew exactly what he wanted to try and do from that free kick. And that's 2 for 2 now with Hullet. Showing why this man is such an important factor in any team with unlocked accounts.
Important factors including that 5-star weak foot of Ruud Hullet. Gets it on that left, no problem shooting with either foot. He's found the top right-hand corner with his right foot, and now he's found the bottom left-hand corner with that left foot as well. The pros' favourite, and at the moment, Msdossary's favourite.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We have seen Tekkz in these situations before, whether it was last week against Gorilla or whether it was last week against Msdossary. Msdossary won the first leg 3-1 last time.
Well, here is CR7, but that's a loose pass there from Tekkz. Gives the ball back to Msdossary, and you can see the pause being cued here by Tekkz as well. Maybe thinking about a change.
Well, he needs it. He just needs more possession. It's looked really comfortable for Msdossary. He's been able to pass it around. Quick passing movement, which doesn't favour Tekkz, who likes to get aggressive with his defenders, try and get stuck in, but he's not getting time to actually approach them and try and steal the ball away.
That's one of the things with the custom tactics that Tekkz does do. Always has that drop back on, and we can see now. Eusebio's pushing forward, Walker now into Hullet again. He's on a hat-trick at the moment. R9 round the corner, Cruyff with the Cruyff turn, strikes it down low to De Gea's near post. And again, all this pressure here is coming in from Msdossary.
And it's a look at the tactics, I think. A look at the settings from Tekkz's side. So clearly, his head isn't there at the moment. No, he's thinking something's not quite right. It's not going how I planned. But notice how much one-touch football there is from Msdossary at the moment. As he swings this one in, De Gea grabs it comfortably, and okay, I've been saying I want people to cross it in, but I'll go back and I'll allow people to pass it. Now that's the one, that's all I needed. As the first half does come to a conclusion, and it has been all Msdossary so far. Really answering back to what Tekkz had to say beforehand, and Tekkz only having 1 shot on goal, Mark. That's not the Tekkz we're used to seeing.
So Msdossary looking so good in that first half. Everything he could have wanted to happen pretty much happened in that one. He had his opportunities, he's got a couple of goals on the board, but also kept that clean sheet and kept the chances for Tekkz down to almost nothing, to be honest with you. The 2 chances that Msdossary had, obviously the strike with Hullet and the set piece, very well worked as well. You just wonder, Tekkz can find a way back into this one, or if Msdossary's going to extend this lead and make the second leg all the more interesting for everyone.
I think the answer to that question is yes. Tekkz can always find a way. He will adapt and he will change how he's playing, whether it's formation or whether it's just his approach. At the moment he's struggling because he's having most possession with his CDMs, with Vieira, with Hullet. And he hasn't really got much to offer in terms of skill moves from either of those players. They're not as quick as his wingers, and that's when he usually looks dangerous. So maybe he might switch formation, maybe a 4-2-2 to try and encourage a little bit more central play from some of these 5-star skillers to allow him to try and beat a man.
Here is Tekkz then. Again, Msdossary using Hullet and Vieira just to marshal in front of that back four. He's found a little pocket of space between the two now. And that little second of hesitation there from Tekkz just allowed Msdossary to nip in and win the ball back again. And now you can see the worry that he has, because R9 has burst in behind. Vieira's trying to get back, and Patrick Vieira does manage to get back and save Tekkz's bacon there, because things look a little bit worrying there.
And Tekkz really takes advantage of players who, when they're manually defending, they dive in a lot. And they try and win that ball, they try and tackle off you. Well, Msdossary's kind of backing off and he's not diving in that much, which means Tekkz is kind of just doing skill moves and then walking into a brick wall. So maybe a couple more passes needed from Tekkz's side of things before he starts with these skills. But here's the chance, into the box now. Fires it straight to Courtois' legs.
I wonder if he was expecting Msdossary maybe to just pull Courtois out, maybe just looking for that ball in across. But now the ball back to the edge of the area. It's going to fall to R9 Vieira. Puts up the shutters and doesn't allow him any further. Tekkz starting to grow into this one a little bit more. Well, as we approach the last half hour in our first leg here, he's going to need a little bit more because even though he's had a strike on goal now, they haven't been the clearest cut chances.
And the worry for me is Msdossary still looks dangerous going forward. He's finding and exposing those little bit of central defender movements from Tekkz. And saying, all right, I see that gap, I'm going to play that through ball. Yes, okay, it's a bit of a risk, but if it pays off, I'm rewarded. But Tekkz wins back the ball quite high up on the pitch.
Pele now in behind. You can see, unfortunately, he's just gone a little bit too early. Changes coming in from Msdossary as well. No surprise to see R9 being taken off. Stamina is an issue for that icon. These players want to make sure that they've got the freshest of fresh legs. And speaking of fresh legs, here is Eusebio down this right-hand side for Msdossary. 2-0 up already. Stops up inside the box and loses one. Ronaldo with the drag back. Well defended by Tekkz, and Vieira's just going to fire this one up to CR7, who wins his challenge.
And Msdossary really exposing now Tekkz, his aggression with those fullbacks by playing those lofted through balls onto the wing. And it is catching him slightly off guard, but now Tekkz is reading them. Stops it very nicely with Walker. Again, it's all about adapting and recognising how your opponent's going to approach the game.
This is one of the first times that Tekkz has even managed to get in behind Alexandro there. So interesting to see Msdossary has kind of recognised how Tekkz is using those wings to create a lot of his attacks, and by not overcommitting with the fullbacks, he's really giving Tekkz a couple more questions to answer. But here is CR7 in the box, tries to drag back again. Msdossary is doing such a good job of just standing up, not lunging in, not pulling players out of position. And he's managing to defend these attacks from Tekkz pretty comfortably at the moment.
And I think what we're witnessing here is mechanically the best player in the world in Tekkz versus one of the smartest players in the world in Msdossary, who every event just seems to change and switch things up and really learn from his opponents. I'm sure there's a lot of study, a lot of research and preparation that goes into these tournaments as he comes into them.
15 minutes left plus stoppage time at the end of our first leg. Tekkz is going to win the ball back in midfield, but Pele now dropping back. Ball's going to break here to Tekkz and CR7. Pele is going to spin in behind for the first time, really, but Hullet tracked that run. Tekkz starts again from the back here, just looking to pull the defence from side to side here by switching the play. Msdossary's discipline so good, but that little dink over the top is going to take both Hullet and Vieira out. That's going to leave Pele with the chance to get into the box. The heel to heel, he's dropped. Referee gives nothing, though.
Stone cold face from Tekkz, though, no reaction. He obviously thinks it was fair enough as well. As you can see, Msdossary, 52% possession, carrying on with his tournament form. Before coming into this, he had an average of 56% possession. And to do that against Tekkz as well is quite the feat.
Kyle Walker then going to be pushing forward here for Msdossary. Now, like what I'm seeing from Msdossary here, recognising the situation and thinking, I can finish this right here with a third, goes near post. Flabbergasted look on the face of Msdossary as David De Gea makes the save. Corner now. Ronaldinho inside the box. Dinks it in. Ferdinand will clear, and now there's a chance towards the end of the game here for Tekkz to counter-attack.
And I really feel like Tekkz just needs that one goal just to settle his nerves a little bit. Just to reassure himself that he is still in this. There's Ronaldinho out on the right. He's going to try and twist and turn, work his way into the box.
Eusebio back to the edge now. Vieira is waiting. Manages to poke it around the corner to Hullet. Strike from Ronaldinho! Tekkz is back into this one. The strike from the Brazilian icon, fresh on the pitch, beats Msdossary's goalkeeper. And now it's just a one-goal game.
Vintage Tekkz that. Just patiently waiting on the edge of the box, watching the goalkeeper movement, looking for that one player just to wait on the edge of the D. I've been watching him since day one of FIFA 19 when he's been streaming his FUT champs, and that is just Tekkz all over. perfect green finesse from outside the box, and now he's back in to this game. And I'm sure he would be more than happy to go into the second leg with just a 1-goal deficit.
One real golden chance in this game for Tekkz, and he has taken it. Still a little bit of time left in this game as well. Maybe time for one more attack here from the man, the F2 freestylers.
I've got to say, the one thing that Msdossary did kind of lack at his previous tournaments was the kind of goalkeeper movement. And maybe Tekkz can expose that as we get into the second leg, but potentially one more chance here.
Sandro then. Back to the goal scorer here, Ronaldinho. Lakwakita inside the box. Tekkz is trying to play with Msdossary, but Msdossary does not want to play. He's quite happy sitting on the sidelines and watching this one play out. Pele now tries to go forward for Msdossary, but that should be the end of our first leg. And Rogues, Msdossary is going to take a 1-goal lead into our second leg.
But we have been here before. Not quite the same pressure situation though, not in a console final, that's for sure. But last week, Tekkz did manage to come back despite losing a first leg. However, this doesn't look like the kind of comfortable Tekkz that I was seeing last week, and the comfortable Tekkz that I've been seeing in this tournament as well. Msdossary really keeping Tekkz at bay and frustrating him, not allowing him that kind of crazy wing play that we see so often. It was only the latter stages of the game, the last 10 minutes, that we really saw Tekkz have any sort of possession out on those wings.
And it was a very Msdossary-like performance. No mistakes, very ruthless when he had his opportunities as well. As we do see the replays coming in from that first leg. That was the first goal with Ruud Gullit. Well worked position there, and Tekkz just backing off, maybe expecting a pass there, but Msdossary more than happy to strike that one into the top corner with the finesse shot. Gullit put it away. And this was the second one from that set piece. Again, when you concede a goal sometimes on someone's right foot, you don't expect them to go back onto that left, even with a five-star weak foot. Msdossary maybe recognised that, took the shot on that left foot. And that was the second goal of the game.
Yeah, maybe Tekkz needs to be careful in those kind of areas, diving in and giving away free kicks. I know he is a player who usually is happy taking a free kick in certain situations and saying, look, I would rather them have a free kick a little bit further outside the box than just being able to play the ball inside the box. But thankfully for Tekkz, he was able to get back into the game. I was a little bit concerned when it was at 2-0. I was thinking maybe we finally found the match. As you can see, fellow Saudis just cheering along there for Msdossary. And I'm sure there is quite the fan base behind him.
But this was the lifeline for Tekkz. Ronaldinho on that left foot. I think Tekkz said in an interview back in Bucharest he was one of his favourite icons as well, just because of the way that his ponytail moves when he's on the ball. But if he comes up with goals like that keep him in this tie and maybe propel him to another win here on the Xbox side of things, then he's definitely going to be up there for different reasons. Good finish there. Maybe questions of Courtois there in Msdossary's goal. And I think he's going to take that every single time. Here's the stats from your first leg.
A very tight game, really. It felt like Msdossary had more possession than that, but clearly in those late stages when Tekkz was pressing for that goal, he was able to put those numbers back up. The shots, well, I guess not really that important. What is important is the goals. 2 going in favour of Msdossary. And you know what? I'm pretty excited for this second leg, Mark, because when we have seen Tekkz in these kind of situations, it is very scary.
As his ex-teammate there, Msdossary, the Royal, great performance from him. Very strong stuff from him in the tournament. Now we go into our second leg. Both players, you can see, anxious to get into this one, much like we are as well.
But surely, if you're Msdossary and you sat there and you're up 2-1 against arguably the best player in the world right now, what kind of mindset does that put you in? Because you must be thinking, all right, I've got to go at him, I've got to score goals. I've seen what happened when players sit back after taking a lead. You leave yourself so vulnerable and exposed if you're just going to allow Tekkz to kind of come at you, and that's when he really starts to kind of produce these fantastic skill moments.
Well, here we go then. Second leg underway then. Msdossary with the 1-goal advantage after a 2-1 lead in our first leg. Tekkz on the back foot here. He wants back-to-back. Msdossary, he just wants to be back on top. Let's see how this one plays out.
And the start of the first leg, it was all Msdossary in terms of possession. He's got the kickoff, so he can go for that once again. Just try and frustrate Tekkz. Maybe try and lure him out of his comfort zone a little bit. Hope that there is a little bit, a lack of maybe discipline from Tekkz the further we get into this game, but he does have to be careful, Msdossary. We have seen mistakes before, we don't want to see him again.
That's one thing that Msdossary has let creep into his game a little bit, some defensive errors that we just didn't see quite simply in FIFA 18. Little lackluster throws out from the goalkeeper, little passes, maybe just taking your eye off the ball for 1 second, and in a final, you can't afford to do that because that's where goals come from. And very rare you'll see blowouts, Dan. It usually is a mistake or a moment of brilliance.
I wonder if that is just habits creeping in from FIFA 18 as well. As we are going to see a potential shot here from Ronaldo. Great block. He just twisted and turned, didn't really know where to put it.
He's waiting for Tekkz to move his goalkeeper, and Tekkz isn't moving his goalkeeper there. He's almost waiting for Msdossary to complete his strike before he decides. That was so interesting to watch for me, just Msdossary thinking, Tekkz has got to move, and Tekkz didn't move.
I think when you look at FIFA 19 face value, you don't really appreciate how many little things there are that these players have to actually think about, especially now with the introduction of goalkeeper movement and timed shots. So many mind games come into play.
Tekkz gives the ball away there. Vieira with good pressure onto R9 in the middle, and Msdossary. It's a very similar pattern to what we saw at the start of the first leg here, Dan, and that is a fantastic ball back to CR7. Wow. Now that might look like a basic save, but Tekkz has moved his goalkeeper right into the way of that one.
Yeah, he offered up the finesse into the top corner, and I think he tried to... I think Msdossary was hoping it was going to be a double bluff and he was going to move it across and then move it back, which we see so many players do. Just kind of dancing on the line. But Tekkz, he moved it and he held his ground. Again,
it's such a mental game now, that goalkeeper movement.
Psychologically, that save is huge for Tekkz.
That's two big chances at the start of this game from Msdossary. Tekkz has managed to use his goalkeeper to give him a chance in the game. 2 heel-to-heels here from R9. Creates a bit of space. Hull it in the box. Eusebio! Defender's got a piece of that and made Courtois' life a little bit easier. First time we've seen Tekkz sort of roar forward, to be honest, in this second leg. And it was those skill moves inside the box, the heel-to-heel there, that created that opportunity again, Dan.
But he was slightly off balance there, Eusebio. You saw the way he struck the ball. It kind of fluffed it along the floor. It wasn't flying towards the corner. Tekkz maybe didn't really have time to even think about taking a touch, though.
Eusebio almost got round the edge of Maldini there. Maldini powered back, though. Quickest centre-backs on the game, when you can see why there.
And we talk about Tekkz's versatility and what he's got in his locker when it comes to attacking. Like, is he going to go for those skill moves? Is he going to go for the finesse?
Might just go for goal! Oh, he does go for goal!
And I think he's caught Msdossary off guard a little bit there. Maybe not expecting the shot. And suddenly F2Tekkz is right back into this one. And that's where things really start to get worrying now.
CR7 lays it off to R9, and R9 just leathers it in the top corner. With that 5-star weak foot, we've seen a couple of goals so far from 5-star weak-footed players. Hull it in the first leg for Msdossary. Now R9, the 96 rated icon from Brazil, shows his worth. Firing Tekkz back into this final with that left foot from distance.
And you can see how it's developed for Tekkz across these 2 legs as well. He started off by going for his traditional down the wing route. Then he was looking for those finesse shots, just like that one. And then he said, all right, well, I'll go back to just trying to beat my man. Wasn't working, so he's gone, all right, well, I'm just going to start having some pop shots from outside the box, and it's paid off for him, just switching and trying a variety of different things.
Tekkz is dangerous here. Ball roll. Little combination there. With the chop in there as well. Oh, he sold Msdossary here. Tekkz is looking to flex his muscles. Msdossary again holds firm, though.
And he needs to. Those are really the times that Tekkz looks at his most dangerous. And it's what Msdossary has been trying to keep out of Tekkz's game for these 2 legs. He's been trying to force him into the middle rather than allowing that space.
Space, though. You mentioned it for Eusebio. Doesn't make the most of that situation, though. Msdossary tried to whip it into the box, but Tekkz with a slightly risky pass there. Msdossary nearly made him pay by stealing possession back. Tekkz survives here, and Tekkz now can orchestrate an attack of his own.
And people keep saying, I mean, surely F2Tekkz can come into it. Tekkz can't win 3 in a row. But every time we question him, every time we doubt him, every time we think someone's going to match him, he turns up the dial just that one number a little bit extra. But has he got any more here? As we're still all tied up. Or is Msdossary going to be able to use his magic and his brilliance?
There's that little mistake. There's that little mistake from Msdossary we talk about. Giving the ball away high up the pitch. R9, Eusebio's over here. Eusebio inside the box, the drag back, the scoop turn. Can't beat Maldini though. But that's the little mistakes we talk about from Msdossary. We didn't see it last year. It has cost him games in FIFA 19, but he's got away with one there.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, defensively, Msdossary's done so well to stand up to that man who is trying to beat him with all those skill moves. And not diving in, not being baited by any of the drag backs or the lakuketas. Instead, he just waits patiently for a more vulnerable skill move that leaves that ball exposed so he can nip it off them. It's been great defending from Msdossary, despite the scoreline being even here.
Here's R9 then, just before this half-time here. Ball into the box, CR7. Vieira got across and got an important block on that one. And Tekkz is starting to grow into the game now. You can see the focus on the young man on the top of your screen. He looks fired up for this one, Dan.
Ball's got to go forward there. Was the last push of the attack. Maybe if Cruyff kept running, he might have got a ball into the box. But either way, we're all tied up at half-time, and Tekkz is right back into it when it was looking like maybe he was going to struggle towards the end of that first leg. Still more possession for Msdossary, though. 55% for him. And you know, I've been so impressed for Tekkz. He really has stepped up his game with his back against the wall.
Second half is straight underway. Both players just want to get back into the action. No waiting around here. No trying to ice your opponent. We're straight into the last 45 minutes of regular time here in our Xbox final. And Tekkz straight on the attack down this left-hand side with Pele.
And I can't stress enough how huge a goal would be either way here, because it could be that final killing blow with both of these players so incredible at seeing out games, at playing that possession football, passing it around, not giving their opponent chances. It could be that goal that secures them the Xbox winner and get them into that console versus console final.
Well defended there by Tekkz, using Ferdinand's strength, and now he's going to release Kyle Walker. Interesting to see if he's got runners ahead of him. Sandro's going to have to fight back, and he does so brilliantly. The Brazilian there to take the ball off of that Portuguese icon. Now it's Tekkz having to defend. In his fullback position, Msdossary back on the attack.
I don't think we really appreciated just how good this Alexandro FUT item was when it came out. And it has just kind of dominated the left-back position in these unlocked tournaments.
Great play from Msdossary. Kyle Walker gets back in there. Just sold his man, but it's given away here. Vieira gets back in for Tekkz. Every single tackle now, you can almost feel the nerves in every single button push.
I think nerves being a very key word there. I think both players, regardless of how well they've performed in the past, how many tournament finals they've been in now, nerves are always going to be a thing. Your heart is still going to be racing, the blood's going to be pumping, but it's Msdossary going forward at the moment.
Hullet gives away a free kick, and now we saw Msdossary in that first leg take advantage of this free kick situation. Hullet runs over this one. Laid off here, Eusebio, back to Pele. Hullet comes back in and slightly more fair that time. Wins the ball back for Tekkz as Vieira is going to give one away here on the breakaway. But a free kick now to Tekkz.
Notice how Tekkz brought all 3 men out of that wall just to make sure that he could chase down any sort of pass that was going to go into the box, and he could also close down quickly to the layoff. Again, it's about knowing your opponent and being able to read them, what they're going to do from that free kick. It did mean he left him vulnerable to maybe a direct shot on goal, but it was a good prediction and it paid off for him.
Here comes Tekkz, then you can see the run. CR7 pointed where he wanted that ball. Eusebio's trying to make a run in behind as well. Eusebio will get to that ball. Ronaldo now. Tekkz inside the box. This is where he's dangerous. Pele round the outside of Walker, but Walker with an important block there for Msdossary inside the last half an hour now. Tekkz with the corner.
Oh, great defending from Msdossary as well. He notices that Tekkz tries to pass it to the edge of the box and he blocked it, but Tekkz still has possession. Hullet now has a chance to potentially shoot, but another great challenge from Msdossary.
Might be given there, but it was not given by the referee. Msdossary, as you say, Dan, great challenge from him. And now they're spacing behind. Cristiano Ronaldo just slows this one down a little bit. Maybe giving Dosari just a little bit of breathing room here, realising that match situation, drawing on those years of experience that he's got.
And I really feel like both of these players have sussed out their opponent at this point. They're really getting into their groove, exposing the weaknesses, starting to see where the patterns emerge in passing and movement. But who can break that pattern? Who can come up with something a little bit different?
Maldini gets the block in. De Gea is going to scoop that one away. Interesting corner. And also finds R9 as well. Challenge is going to kind of break 50-50 in the middle of the pitch there, but Dosari's going to pick up the possession. Dosari now surging forward with Vieira into Cristiano Ronaldo, Pele. Johan Cruyff now inside the box. Vieira does so well for Tekkz though as well, and Tekkz is defending. Both of these players have been exemplary at the back in those 1v1 situations.
And it really is going to come down to who really has the bottle here. Who's going to be able to find that chance?
And this is the first time we've really seen Eusebio get in behind Alexandro in this game. It's laid across. Oh, Pele can finish it! Tekkz is in the lead again!
And he lets out a massive roar, does Tekkz, because he knows what a huge goal it was. And the keeper was moved by Dosari. And Tekkz just patiently waited. And it was an easy goal at the end of things, just slotting it home as he takes a 2-0 lead in this second leg, giving him that 1-goal advantage with just 15 minutes left, Mark.
F2Tekkz. Give him any situation, he'll find his way out of it. Msdossary now on the back foot. Can he find a goal to get back into this one? 15 in-game minutes left, plus stoppage time here. But the composure again shown. We go back to Bucharest. We almost had a carbon copy goal from Pele, the same player in the same situation, waiting for the goalkeeper movement from Dosari and just slotting it in that near post. F2Tekkz showing that, as he said himself, sometimes pressure makes diamonds.
I think one of the fantastic things about Tekkz is when you have a back-to-back champion, sometimes people get bored of it. They want to see someone new. But there was a poll put out online. Who do you want to see get into that console versus console final? 62% people said, I want to see Tekkz there. And he's now rewarding those fans for that support. Whereas Dosari, he needs to find that extra level now. He was ahead. He's dropped a 2-0 lead, and suddenly it's a turnaround. Tekkz 3-2. It's happening again. It's not quite the same repeat that we saw in the group stages in the LQE last week.
Wow.
But it's going to feel the same.
Dosari has gone for it. 3 at the back. Doesn't have a lot of time to play with, and I think he recognises that one. What have you got then, Dosari? Tekkz has shown he can come back from behind. Seems to be the making of a champion at the moment. Pele now for Dosari. Hullet wins it back for Dosari here. Ball on the edge of the box. Ronaldinho! Oh, my word. How has Tekkz survived again?
The crossbar's done so much there for Tekkz, but just going forward, Dosari looks ruthless now. You can see he wants this. He needs this.
It's wave after wave from Dosari, but De Gea will gleefully grab that one. No venom behind that shot whatsoever.
And we talk about champions and we talk about winning games and seeing out games. Well, Tekkz has that chance now. Eusebio's in behind, but it's going to be a corner. No, it's goal kick. That's massive for Dosari because it gives him at least one more chance.
Courtois sends this one up. CR7 wins the header down for him as well. Rogues Msdossary then. With 6 in-game minutes left to find a goal. He's found Ronaldinho, and he's found space as well. There's a man at the back post. Pele has done it for Dosari.
And he just kept his pressure, and he knew he was going to have that one chance. And he's taken it as well. Pele with acres of space in the middle. And Dosari, he took that risk. He took Patrick Vieira off. He put Ronaldinho on. And now he's been rewarded with it. In the 86th minute, we're all tied up. And what a final this is on the Xbox side of things.
Wow, Dosari showing the spirit of a champion here. Both Both players putting on an absolute show for everyone here in the arena in London. Everyone at home at the moment. 3-all. Just a few minutes left, Dan. Extra time?
I love how you're so excited and you're like, extra time? Perchance? I think it's on the cards. It's definitely on the cards. They're so well matched. But my fear is, the further we get into this game, Msdossary did commit by taking Vieira off. He did get very attacking. Suddenly he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable in the centre of midfield. A lot of pressure on Hullet to command that.
And as if this game isn't exciting enough, of course, we've got the PlayStation final coming up after this as well. Nicholas versus Mo Alba. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Plenty of action to come still here from the FUT Champs Cup in London. Free kick then for Tekkz. A few minutes left. Is there going to be another twist in the tale of Tekkz versus Msdossary?
And just when Tekkz had thought he'd done enough, when he'd found that late goal, he just wasn't able to deal with the pressure from Msdossary by committing so many men forward. You've got to feel like there is that potential one last chance in this game before extra time comes, Mark.
Tekkz is waiting for it. Tekkz knows there's one more chance. He doesn't want to give the ball away here. He wants to make sure that that strike on goal is his. Eusebio's going to keep this one in. He's got in behind Sandro. Ronaldinho inside the box. Msdossary's held strong. Vieira into Pele. Oh, no, it's at the post. It's gone wide.
Goes for a corner. He's going to whip it in. Hopes for a header, but keeper grabs it. And surely that's extra time.
Let's have a break.
Imagine if that had gone in. And quite rightly, a round of applause from the audience here in the Gfinity Arena, because what a game of 90 minutes that was.
Well, Tekkz had got missing there. I was looking at his player count. I think he had his head in his hands as well. Can't believe. But a white piece of steel has stood between him and being the Xbox champion once again. It would have been a harsh way for Msdossary to lose that game. The deflected shot just agonisingly rolling towards the back of the net. But here we are, Dan. Extra time.
And I wonder if Tekkz has spotted the lack of Patrick Vieira on the side of Msdossary, whether he feels like there is a little bit of a weakness now defensively for him. Can he expose it? But it does mean that Msdossary has more options going forward. More players that can hit those finesse shots from outside the box. They can use those skill moves to find their way into those shooting positions. So it works out both ways.
What a game this has been between two incredible players. That was so fortunate for Tekkz. De Gea's come out and committed to it. Got enough of the ball, though, apparently, according to the goalkeeper, for that not to be a penalty. I think I agree with that one.
And as you said, it would be a shame to see this game decided by something like a penalty or just a deflected goal. But considering they're so closely matched at the moment, you feel like it could end up going that way. Walker was so high up the pitch there for Msdossary and needs to track back here. Doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable.
Ball over the top then, trying to get in behind the fullbacks again here, Tekkz. Eusebio. Little flick over the head, Ronaldinho. Into the Portuguese icon. Vieira's going to use Hullet here. Drives this one into Pele. CR7 round the corner. Oh, Thibaut Courtois needed every inch of that 6'6" frame to keep that one out.
Oh, we talk about goalkeeper preferences and who you can trust. Courtois, of course, has that power in the air, but also stretching that leg out. Tekkz going for the low-driven shot, hoping that maybe the keeper would move one way. Msdossary not being sold one way or another that time, as he still stays in this, and we get to the closing stages of this first half of extra time.
Just won the header there against Ferdinand. Ferdinand.
Oh, no!
Oh, my word.
That's like, well, I'm nervous. I don't know how these players are feeling right now. Every time there's that little bit of a mistake or a little chance, surely it's hearts and mouths kind of situation.
There will be a minimum of
It's Steven Gerrard time for Tekkz. Pele now down this left-hand side. Does have some players in the box, but Carl Walker's not interested in that. Msdossary wins the ball back, fires it forward now. Maldini sends it straight back forward. There is the half-time whistle. Second half of extra time.
And I can tell you now, Mark, neither of these players want penalties. No one wants to get eliminated from a competition on penalties, especially in the console final. But at the moment, that's where it looks like it's going.
It's just looming there on the horizon. Will there be a goal then to separate these two players? Both of them have put everything into this Xbox Grand Final. You almost wonder whoever gets through if they're going to have enough for the cross console final. Sandro then for Tekkz, Ronaldinho. That massive chance that Tekkz had in that first half of extra time. You wonder if he's going to be thinking that one through.
And no time wasted there from Tekkz as well. Just quickly taking this one. Keeping the possession. CR7 with the ball, easily defended by Ferdinand. Got to be careful here, though.
That was well read there by Ferdinand and Msdossary. He's seen that before. That was where that chance came from, with that quick scoop turn around the corner. But here comes Msdossary charging forward now. Pele trying to get inside the box. It's a perfectly timed tackle.
Is it? Not sure it's perfect.
According to me, but the referee disagrees.
All the players out of the wall again. Msdossary looking for that pass.
Pullet whips this one in. Oh, Eusebio would have won it! Eusebio might have won it for Msdossary! Can you believe it?
And I feel like Tekkz, he threw Rio Ferdinand into that challenge because he didn't want to allow Msdossary into that box for an easy goal. And he's gifted that opportunity now, as Msdossary takes the lead once again in this grand final. And I don't know if Tekkz was more with his back against the wall 1 week ago, when he was 3 goals down.
There he is. Stevie G's on the pitch.
Or whether it's now.
Summoning the power.
8 minutes left.
Of Istanbul once again. F2Tekkz relying on that man to get him back into this game.
Just imagine if Steven Gerrard were to be that goal scorer that Tekkz needs to tie this game. It's not even to win now.
Seconds are ticking down here. Msdossary obviously changing his in-game tactics as well, just to see this one out. Here we go then. Tekkz has already come back from behind. Msdossary's done the same. Msdossary's put himself into the lead. Eusebio just leaping in front of all of the defenders there and just burying that header into the back of the post, into the back of the post, into the back of the net. I'm getting carried away with things here.
Well, here we are. Tekkz, what is left? As Msdossary, no messing around.
No
He's
nonsense.
not going to be exposed from the kickoff. He's saying, all right, I'm taking this one for the team. No easy attack for you, Sunshine.
Ronaldinho will take that all day. As you say, just breaking up that kickoff attempt from Tekkz. 7 minutes left in a game for Tekkz. CR7's up, he wins it. Hullet's going to put the chance wide though.
It was a yellow on the timed. Slightly off balance as well, and now with just 5 minutes left, Msdossary, all he has to do is keep possession here. That's going to be hard when Tekkz is going to be closing him down from every angle.
Here comes Msdossary then. Maybe looking for the chance to just end this right here. Pele. Ronaldinho really has been a difference maker. Ronaldo now into the box. Msdossary with a chance to finish it. Maldini keeps him in it. But these seconds just ticking away now, Dan.
It's gone for a corner as well, and not only would he be ending this game, but he'd be ending the run of Tekkz dominating the FIFA scene. We wouldn't see the back-to-back-to-back that he wants. Msdossary just plays this one back, plays it smart. He is the world champion after all. He knows how to close out these games. As De Gea's all the way out the box.
Tekkz trying absolutely everything to get this ball back. Msdossary saying, this is my game. This is my final, and this is my console. Sandro, agonisingly for Tekkz. Msdossary sends it forward, and that is the final whistle. Msdossary dethrones F2Tekkz, and the Saudi Arabian has found his way back on top.
Quite fitting, really, if anyone was going to stop Tekkz from repeating his trophy-lifting prowess, then it is the reigning world champion from that eWorld Cup. It is a shame for Tekkz that he hasn't continued his fine form, but
there he is.
You've got to give credit to the man,
Msdossary.
Msdossary. because he has earned it. He has played phenomenally at this tournament.
Incredible stuff from Msdossary. We now have the answer to our question, Dan. FIFA 19 launched. Who can stop F2Tekkz? How about the current, reigning, defending FIFA eWorld Cup champion? That man, Msdossary, has done it, but what a game of FIFA 19 that was. It had everything.